If you've inherited a property in Delaware, Ohio, or if you're going through the probate process and it involves a property in Delaware, Ohio, then this video is for you. My name is Dave Perichin with Sell House Columbus, and for over 14 years, we've been buying inherited properties and buying probate properties in and around Delaware, Ohio. Now, the first thing and the first reason people love working with us is we're going to keep things extremely simple. So I know firsthand, because I work with people who inherit properties in Delaware, Ohio, work with them all the time, is sometimes it can be confusing. Sometimes there can be a lot of probate paperwork or courts involved and attorneys involved. The last thing we're here to do is to add to the confusion or to add to the current stress that you might be experiencing from this whole situation. So we're going to keep it simple. We're going to communicate very effectively with you and just understand where you're at in the process. If you need us to communicate with any attorney or court involved, we're happy to do that. We've been doing this for many years. It's not a big deal. We're here to take stress and relieve stress, remove it from your plate, not add to it. Another way we keep things simple, and another reason people love working with us when they're selling their inherited property in Delaware, Ohio, is we're going to buy the property in its as-is condition. So really what that means is you don't need to fix anything. You don't even need to mow the grass or run a broom across the floor. You don't need to haul anything away before selling the property. Typically, the conversation is very straightforward. We tell you, you can take anything that you want out of the property before we close. If you need help moving stuff, we can accommodate that as well. We work with local moving companies. I'm doing that with somebody in a different property right now. But you can have or take anything that you want out of the property. Anything that you just don't want, you don't have to deal with it. You don't need to haul anything away. We're going to buy the property in its true as-is condition. And what that also means is we're not relying on fancy appraisals. We're not relying on walking through the property 100 different times and nitpicking this property. We're gonna buy it in its as-is condition. Now, sometimes people think, do I need to list this property with a realtor? If you have a ton of money to sink into the property, and if you have a lot of time to work with, maybe listing the property with a realtor is going to be your best bet. But many of the people that we work with, they just want to keep it simple and work with a buyer who's not relying on a bank financing deal to go through or not relying on this appraisal. That's just added hoops for you to jump through. You've got enough hoops to jump through. So most people that we work with, they just want to keep it simple and work with a true cash buyer like us here at Sell House Columbus to keep it simple and buy the property in its as-is condition. And since we're not a traditional buyer and since you don't need to list the property with a realtor, there's never going to be any added fees or commissions. You're going to know exactly what you're netting at the closing table. It's all inclusive. We're going to cover any title fees and title work. We can actually help out with attorney's fees. We can discuss that when we get on the phone. We've done that for many people. We're here to keep it simple and really just not add to any stress that you're currently already dealing with. So when you give us a call at 614-300-5151, or you visit us online at sellhousecolumbus.com and fill out a little form, we'll get on the phone. And when we talk on the phone, it's a very simple conversation. We just need to know more about the property, know more about any timeline that you're currently experiencing and where you're at in the process. And we're gonna make you a fair cash offer pretty much right there on the spot. If our offer works for you, great. We can move forward. We do a very simple purchase and sale agreement, and there's no fancy language or fine print. It's very straightforward. And then if our offer doesn't work for you, that's okay too. We can shake hands, part as friends. There's never any pressure or gimmicks or sales tactics. It's a very straightforward conversation. And what I mentioned is, we want to understand what timeline you might be working with. This is often overlooked, but it's very important. Some people need to close extremely quickly, and we could accommodate that. Or other people need more of a flexible closing and they need something to happen with this inherited property situation, or they need something to happen before closing. We can be flexible on the time frame as well. And that's what you get when you are working with us here at Sell House Columbus. We're very experienced at purchasing inherited properties in Delaware, Ohio. We've been doing this for many years, and we love the opportunity and look forward to the opportunity to hopefully speaking to you. So if you've inherited a property in Delaware, Ohio, or if you're going through the probate process and it involves a property in Delaware, Ohio, give us a call at 614 300-5151, or visit us online at sellhousecolumbus.com. My name is Dave Perichin. I do look forward to speaking to you. Let's keep this simple. Let's remove stress from your life. Let's provide relief and certainty for you in a world and in a situation where there's often a lot of uncertainty. This is going to provide you the relief and the certainty that you're probably looking for. Again, my name is Dave, and I look forward to speaking to you.